So today we're going to be talking about going on our projects of UI UX design, how these elements all kind of put together. One big term you may see, information architecture in UX, how these things are built. We talked about the values of UI and UX, differences between UX deals with the more psychology behind how people navigate sites that you may be putting out there, and you may get contracted to make a prototype site or a prototype site for a person wanting to do that, which we talked about wireframes. It all begins with sketching maybe on the paper or a pad, content, where this can go from where this piece can go to this piece. But a good way to kind of start prototyping that stuff out live is using the XD, Adobe XD. Now, Adobe XD is a pretty powerful tool in the fact that you can kind of go ahead and prototype that stuff out without any, really coding, in all honesty, which makes it a lot easier. And you can actually import stuff from like Illustrator and Photoshop and bring over because it's for the most part vector based. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to just kind of open up XD and show you how to start linking these boards together, how you can go to a download a UI kit and start utilizing these kits for your prototype needs, because basically this is all your wireframe kits that you would use to give to somebody or to start planning out your content that you're wanting to portray or to start building together. So you have Adobe XD. I'll just go from straight open it up. You may have to download it from the cloud. It's going to open up, and the thing I like about XD, it's a very pleasing program to look at. It's not a lot of information overload. It's pretty laid out and it's pretty clean. Nice interface software to deal with and pleasing to look at. You can go to the Learn channel up here, and there's all kinds of things that you can kind of go in and like teach you even further than you would want to know, basically, probably, but basics on prototyping, how this thing's going to work. So I definitely implore you to watch these videos, how transition works, any kind of prototyping with auto animate, prototyping basic transitions. I'm going to go over this right now, but these are really little short videos that kind of can walk you through little creative things, which is pretty amazing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my web, and I'm just going to create a basic web layout with maybe 2 pages and show you how you can drop stuff in here and start building the wireframe of your own and how the transition will work between the buttons. So web 1920 1080, that's what I'm going to do. So already, I mean, this is clean here. Like, look at this. You have your tool set over here, not very many. Kind of in terms of InDesign, looks more a little like InDesign than it would like say Illustrator. But you can go and create shapes. You get your circle. You can go once you have their item selected, you can go to your fill, create the shapes how you would. You can change if you throw text in there, you can do stuff like that. Kind of go further down the rabbit hole with like making beveled edges and stuff like that. More than likely, if anybody's kind of up on Illustrator, what they'll do is create Illustrator and just cut and paste and bring it over, because it is a vector base, and so you can kind of stretch things out to your limits how you want to. Now, there are a bunch of secret ways and special skill sets to learn when designing in InDesign. You can actually design full designs in a site, but me personally, I work better in Photoshop and Illustrator in general, so I would probably create the content I need and bring it over. But for this purpose, for building a wireframe purpose, all you really need to do is start downloading some of these kits here, and then they give you all the elements that you need to make it look very professional. So where can we find all these things at? If you go up, and if you got a Mac, it's probably in your menu up here, but I know on a PC, there's a Get UI kit. Yeah. You can look for wireframes, you can look for more UI kits, and that usually will bring up your Adobe things, kits that you can kind of download for like a phone app, for any kind of like template that you want to build basically. And these are just easier just to really search online to find these. It's just like with anything, you know, how those website builders have all sorts of templates, free templates to use. It's the same with this. You just got to kind of Google it and search for it. Now, I've linked some below. One that I'm going to be using is from this Adobe sponsor, the Behance network. They've got this wire kit for Adobe XD, and you can download the kit here, or you can actually kind of download XD if you want to right there. So, but if you just click download kit, it'll just download the XD resources here, which I've already downloaded this, so I don't really need to download it again. But with that kit, shrink this. It came with, you know, you either go to your Mac or your updated wireframes. You can either download the web layout or the mobile layout kits. They're kind of two separate. Now with the XD, you can preview it in your phone. You will have the ability to hook your device up to it and preview it in there, and that may be something that you want to do. In terms of laying out something for a customer, they usually like to have like a layout of the website and the mobile site, how it would look right next to it. So that may be an option. But if you just open up the mobile or the website one, you'll see all this wonderful stuff that comes up here. So opening up that, you've got this whole screen that's come up now of all these elements. And with these other different little artboards that you can kind of zoom in by pressing the Alt key and middle mouse. You kind of zoom in, and then if you just click your middle mouse, you can kind of drag around the same way you would in Illustrator or InDesign. And you can see all these little elements that are applied that you can actually use. Basically, this is like would be like a portfolio section of a website. Like there would be a page comparable to this that have your images like this. You can like just take this whole image right here, this box, and lay it in your artboard. So for what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over here and one of these navigation bars, like this one right here. You can get just separate individual pieces by clicking on it, but I'm going to get the whole thing right here, and I'm going to copy it. I'm going to get back to my other new one that I've created. I'm just going to paste. I probably need to select the whole thing. Back to the right. There we go. I'm going to go save this while I'm thinking about it. Save as. Now you can save this as a cloud document. I'm sure I don't have to explain that. Or you can save it to your desktop, however you want to do it. Save this as UI demo. I want to save it in the cloud document. I want to save it. You can create folders, subfolders in that, which is pretty cool. These are ones that I've kind of been working on here and there. But just saving it to your desktop, you'll want to go save as local document. So that way it'll just save it to the desktop here. Now if I was going to work with a file with a lot of assets I'll import, I would probably create a folder on here and keep everything all together. But for this I'm just going to do UI demo on the desktop. So now you can take this element here that you've dropped in here and I can put it up here. can stretch these things out, which is really cool because since it is a vector, everything kind of like scales with it. You could go in further here and change the text however you want to. For right now, I'm just going to kind of leave it as. I'm going to take this one as a contact. What I'm going to do though is I'm going to change this to kind of make that a little bigger so I can see it. This will be my home page. So I'm going to take some more. You can go and change these colors too, if you wanted to whatever you may like. Let's find some more elements to make for my home page. I think I want this on my home page. No, I don't like that. Ending section. Let's use this. I'm going to get me a footer too. That looks good. So this is my home page. You can rename these things. This is my home. Now I'm going to create another page that I'm going to have as like a blog page. So I'll go to this canvas tool right here, this artboard, and basically what it does, if you just click on there, it's going to create one on the board, and then you can left click and you can kind of move it. I like to work however you want to. I'm going to work this one down here because I'm going to make another one here so you're going to be able to see the. So I'm going to create one more page. That one there. So this is going to be my landing home page, and then it's going to have my sub page. It's going to be here. Then another page for this selection is going to go here. So what I know, I'm going to have the same header and all these right here. So I'm going to copy. Paste. I know I'm going to have my same footer and all these. And then we'll put some different content in here so I'll know my pages are different. This will be my page 2. Oops. Get my page 3. Come on. There we go. So let me find me some cool content for my page 2. I think I wanted to have my portfolio, little portfolio images on there. Just like these right here, this whole section, this will be part of it. I'll select all those. Parts of my portfolio on this page, and we'll just kind of say the last page was like a blog that you can kind of go to and look something that looks cool like a blog section. There we go. All this material up here looks pretty good. And then this comes in terms of, this is begin whenever the UI kind of side of you starts taking over. If what looks good, probably scale differently. So this is whenever you get a chance to kind of like have your visual designer start doing their job, how things will look. So this will be my last page right here. So now I know this is my home page. I'm good with this layout for these 3 pages. This is my home, this is my portfolio, and say this is my blog. Let me just change it so I'll know if that's what it is. Now there's these sections up here. You can add stuff in here. It's really cool. Start exploring around it. Then start seeing the layout of the different elements that you put in here. And already I've got a pretty solid design for 3 pages. Now I don't really like this down here just because but however that you would have this web page. I think this needs to be over here. Maybe this would be the there, that just looks better. Okay, so I'm going to go to this prototype page, prototype section. If you notice, there's prototype and then there's share. Share, you can create the link to kind of start publishing it out. But prototype is where all your interactivity will take place. And how this works is instead of like coding in where something would go, all you really need to do is kind of drop and drag. Click, drop, and drag. Or click and drag. That's a good one to do. So say this was my blog up here, or my portfolio section up here. If you notice, whenever I click up there, it gives this little arrow. You can just kind of left click there and then just start dragging these little chains to the actual element here. So if you notice, I clicked off of it and it disappeared, but you know, if I had that one selected, it shows you all the node base that are going to that one. So this one right here is going to connect to this one over here. So now whenever you click on this, it's actually become a button that's going to take you to this page, and this will take you to this page. So I want to click this home button back to this page. And along with this one right here. Oops, I don't want to move the actual icon. And I do know that my blog is going to go to here too. So you see the way I'm starting to link stuff up. It's just a really fast way to start getting these diagrams out. And you know, this comes with trial and error, going back and checking it. But you can kind of see what things are going on, like these 2 buttons right here. Obviously, if there's not going to be a click, you can, I think, create its own click, but I don't know why you would. This will go to this page. This icon will go to this page. This will go back to the home. This icon will go to this page. Whenever you're on this page, you can go back to the home. But we need to create one that will go to this page here. So now we have this crazy spider system of things. Let's just preview this thing and see how it works. And if you notice, there's types of transmissions over here where whenever you click on the stuff over here, you can change your transitions. So I have to auto-animate the overlay, scroll in, how the other page may be coming, a bunch of dissolves, different animation settings that you can put on there. And for this trigger, how are these things going to be interactive? Like, especially if you're working with a phone, you know, they're just going to be tapped, or they have like voice activated. I mean, you can go that far with doing it. So let's just preview this thing. So here was our home page, and it's going to preview what page you have selected, in other words. So it looks good. Here, let me see if it works. You notice I've got some little rollovers now. So this was my portfolio. That's coming up right. I go back to my home. That's right. Now I'll go back to the blog page like this. Go back to my home. Let me go to my blog and check see if this one works here. I don't have this one working right here. So that means I need to go back and kind of make some tweaks. So I'm going to go back to my home and make sure this one works. That one works. So the problem I had was with this one going here. What's wrong with this? Looks like it's working. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off and I'm going to take it to the front just to make sure. May have to be reset somehow. Okay. Works. Cool. So now once you had everything done, your page is connected, you're prototyping of how everything would go laid out, and you can put content in here of the customer, whatever they wanted. You can go and you can actually kind of share this, create a link, creates a public link, so you can send the link to anybody, your customer, however you want to do it, and it automatically will save it as you're doing that. But I will go to save anyway, just to save it. So that's kind of an overview of it, how to get started with it, all the options. Like I said, I will put everything, all of these in the links below so you can kind of just go straight to it. But I would suggest, find stuff that kind of fits you, because you may have portfolio blogs that are free UI templates that you may find that may work. For the most part, most designers like creating their own content anyway. And yeah, but I would suggest doing that. You can create the stuff in InDesign and just copy and paste it over, kind of start stretching stuff out. You can create shapes and different icons, PNGs, and bring them over and put them in your projects here. But yeah, have fun with that. And like I said, do explore the learn section, because these videos are really short, sweet, and they'll get you where you're going. And we'll go over more animation and more features you can do with this as we're working on our projects. But yeah, that's XD, an overview, and thank you for watching.